Well, there you go. That is it. First eviction of the series has happened, and Winston has just walked out of that house. He's going to be joining me and my panel right now on Celebrity Big Brothers. Build the side! Our first eviction night of the series, and Winston's been shafted. And now Wancy will never be. Poor Wancy. It's never going to happen, is it? And Christina's got a bun in the oven! Congratulations to you and Ben both. Coming up, Winston's going to be joining me here very shortly to review his performance. And, of course, we'll have all the reaction direct from the house. Plus, I'll be introducing you to someone who strikes fear in all of his victims. The truth extractor of Boreham Wood will be making his first appearance on BBBOTS. And if you thought those killer noms were tough, you ain't seen him yet. Now, listen, from one freeway to another, it's time to meet my trio of top talkers on my panel tonight. From Geordie Shore to X on the beach, she always makes a splash. And now she is the rightful heir and queen of the jungle. It's Vicky Parton! What's What are you saying, bruv? It was last seen in the boot of a car on Christmas Day. But we have brought him back from the dead. He's in the house, not that house, our house. It's EastEnders Ledge. Fat boy Ricky Norway! He's alive! Oh, he's alive! And finally, she needs no introduction, but I'm going to give her one anyway. Tonight, we are in the presence of showbiz royalty. Singer, TV star, icon, cruising away from the ocean waves into the studio on the HMS BBBOTS. It's our very own Siren of the Seas, Jane McDonald! God, she half liked to rinse it, didn't she? Jeez. Right, we love her. I think she's sitting quite comfortably low, so let's get straight down to business. Patterson, queen of the jungle, may I just add?
Stop it, you.
Stop it. Did the right person go tonight?
Yes.
Yeah.
110%. Who liked him? Who liked him? No one. Go on, speak your mind, babe. Nobody liked him. Nobody did. I thought his views were out of date, offensive and disgusting. And everyone in there was so right, apart from Jeremy. God knows what Jeremy was thinking, but everyone in there was so right to do what they did. I didn't want him in there in the first place, but had they left him in there, it would have only got worse. Yeah. I'm glad he's out.
Rick, what about you?
I mean, I agree. I'm glad he's out too. I would have liked to have seen Johnny challenge him on a couple of his issues and of his opinions. Just because he felt so strongly about him, I would have just loved to see him challenged.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy, as well as you guys over there, that he is out of the house.
Well, it was 13-1. 13-1 voted to evict him. Do we think they were influenced by the crowd noises that they could hear, Jane, or do you think that they thought...
I think they were genuinely shocked at some of the things that he was coming out with. Yeah. And, you know, it's just not PC anymore. I don't know what century he's in.
But it's just not cricket.
It's just not cricket. It's not cricket. Darling, it's just not cricket.
And do you know what? I've got to say, as a politician, someone who wants people on his side. He's not doing
Out
the
of
best
touch,
job.
out of date,
Which-
out of
how
touch,
come
out of date.
Which side's
Oh,
he
I
on?
don't know. You're asking me. All I know is that there's cycle lanes and Boris is driving on them. Vicky, you touched on Jeremy. He was the only one to say he wanted Nancy to go over Winston. Why do you think he went for Nancy? Do you think the red wine gate played a bit of a part?
Yeah, I do think Jeremy was massively influenced on Red Wine Gate. Don't get us wrong. I think... I do feel like he was judging on what he'd seen, on the behaviour within the house. And if that was the case, he probably had more of a problem with Nancy than he had with Winston. But for me, I couldn't be more offended by a bottle of red wine than I am by Winston's comments. I'm sorry, that's it.
Yeah.
So I think Jeremy's made a massive, massive error.
I think the thing that we've got to ask now, Rick, is, you know, he's in there now. 13 of them decided to choose Winston to go. He was the only one that didn't. How do you think that's going to sort of look on him now in the House? Because the House seemed quite unanimous on that vote.
I think he's still got time to kind of show his difference of opinion. But to tell you the truth, I think he probably fancies Nancy a little bit.
Oh,
well. You know,
Doesn't
a bit that-
everyone?
you know,
I mean, I'm not going to lie, I even fancy a bit of the Dadalia.
she is hot like fire.
She is, babe, you will get burnt, trust me. I've got to ask that it's quite clear that a lot of people agreed that Winston went tonight. Is there anyone that disagreed? Is there anyone that think Nancy should have gone? Don't start. This is an opinion show and we decide to be fair. Let's go for it.
I do not agree with Winston's wishes and
Comments.
comments at all, but I do think he was more entertaining than the ladies. They've been a bit vanilla, they haven't done anything, and as a housemate, he could have progressed, and who knows, they might have changed his views.
Do you think he could have?
Probably not, no.
Well, I'll ask him in a bit. That's all about the rest of Summer Tonight's show. Nancy was at the centre of another red wine gate scandal. It's like last series all over again. Jane, what do you think? Do you think Nancy was slyly hiding the bottle to have a bit of a booze, or do you think it was for dinner?
Well, I don't know, you see, because she could have made a... Listen, when red wine is involved...
Look at her face, Jane. Look at her face,
Did you see the hand come out?
The hands come out.
When red wine is involved, you hide it, because, you know, these young'uns, they can just gallop it down, don't they? There's no refinement anymore.
I mean, we haven't got, like, the best excuse on the panel. Let's be fair.
Steady on, everyone.
Come on, Jane McDonald. But you know what? The one thing she weren't happy about is that someone had gone over to her area.
Yeah.
And, you know, started going through her things, Vic. What do you think that she had a point there?
I feel as though, like, it's such a difficult one to call, but they did invade our personal space. Do you know what I mean? And we don't know her reasons behind taking that bottle of wine. We never will, do you know what I mean? I would love to think she was, like, secret squirreling it away to share with everyone and be William Large penis at mealtime, you know what I mean? Bring it out.
They're all sitting there giving it... She was going to go to the toilet.
Oh, come on, get your minds out the gutter. She might have been going to share it, we never know.
Rick, do you think,
Because they stole it, we
Nancy's a
won't
sharer?
know.
I mean, Johnny said that Johnny was witness, wasn't he? He was witness to the comment that she was going to save it for dinner. But I do think that if she was going to save it for dinner, why not just say to the guys, listen, guys, this bottle of wine, let's save it for dinner, eh? And I'm sure they're reasonable enough to save one bottle of wine for dinner.
It's because she wanted it to be a surprise. She wanted it to be good for morale, I
But
think.
talking of John, you've just brought Johnny up. He did step in to mediate, didn't he, in all fairness? Jane, let me come to you. What did you make of his efforts? Because I've said, again, I keep using Twitter, but a lot of people were quite split on what he was saying. A lot of people saying we shouldn't be getting involved, other people saying no, right, that he stood up for it.
Well, I suppose he's very gallant.
Gallant, oh, what a word.
Gallant.
That's a Jane McDonald
It's
word.
so, yes, it is. It's such a me word, that, isn't it? But it was nice for someone to stand up for someone. But the thing that's made me laugh about this whole thing, there is no personal space in the Big Brother.
No, you are in Big Brother.
You're in
all
Big
fairness.
Brother. So whether, you know, you're sleeping next to someone in the next bed. So I don't think you can actually say, this is my space, this is my bottle of wine, and keep your flipping hands off it. You
She's
can't.
Poirot, all of a sudden. Well, listen, we're going to be talking more a bit about John Partridge later, but first, someone who won't be having any red wine, Christina. She's preggers!
Oh.
She's preggers! Vic, how do you think her announcement's now going to affect how the rest of the house treat her? Do you think they're going to pander a bit?
Oh, yeah, she'll be wrapped up in cotton wool from now on, I think.
You reckon?
Yeah, definitely. And so, like, quite rightly, I think she should be, but I don't know if this is the best place for a pregnant woman. Does anyone else agree?
Well, I mean, Emma's doing it, let's be fair, and she's doing all right, in all fairness.
She's on the other side, but...
She's loving life, that one. But listen, I enjoyed that chat, and I think I want to speak to her now. So give it up for our panel. Come on. Good luck to you, darling. All right, it's time now to speak to our glamorous ringmaster, fresh from cracking the eviction whip. She's as much a part as our Friday night as a cheeky takeaway and a bottle of Vin Rouge, though she can't have any herself because we've been expecting her. Happy Friday. It's the gorgeous Emma Willis. What a night.
It's nothing like easing you in gently, is there?
No. Let's get on to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But we've got another CBB baby. Where did that come from?
How dare she!
How dare she! It was just like, what?
No!
I know.
Oh, my goodness.
You're a bit gel.
No! That's amazing for her. Congratulations. I think
Yeah.
it's lovely.
Congratulations, Christina.
Yeah. And also, you know, I think, like Vicky was saying, like, should she really be in there? You know, we're quite capable. I got
She's
a phone
doing
call
it.
from this lot when the series started going, is Emma all right to walk down the stairs?
I was going to put a stair lift in. I was only thinking about health and safety.
Pregnant doesn't mean I'm not
I
capable.
mean, them hills, they're not high, I tell you. And them stairs, they're a bit slippy.
I tell you what, in that house, she'd probably have more rest than she would out the house.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So-
Well, listen, good luck to her. Let's talk about tonight. How was it for you?
Let me ask you, how did it look?
Well, I had, and for want of a better phrase, my hand on my willy the whole time because it was that I was like, oh, do you know what I mean? I just had to cut myself for
Yeah.
comfort. How was it for you?
It was infuriating and frustrating, and but good to get into it really. And he was the what they would call, I suppose, a typical politician, where he didn't really want to answer what I was asking him. Do you know what I mean? And he kept going back to, yes, but, you know, it doesn't matter what I think. It's the people who put those laws in place. And talking about boxing, I'm like, we're not talking about boxing.
No.
We're talking about this. And we're not talking about the people that make laws. We're talking... and we're not saying that you can't have that
opinion.
view
No.
as a Christian. We're talking about what you're liking it to. And, you know, he says he isn't homophobic, yet the comments he makes make him sound homophobic.
And he's
so,
not denying it.
no, well, no,
it's-
exactly.
it's
Which
not
is
that he's
why
saying,
I
no,
kept
don't,
pushing him.
it was a joke, even though it wasn't funny.
On that comment, do you know what I mean? And then he said, "Well, do you want me to sit here and lie?" And I'm like, "No, I
No.
don't." Then you've just said it yourself, and that is what I find really sad.
Well,
You know, and I know some people think I should probably have been more impartial as a host of the show, but I have my beliefs.
Yeah.
And I am not homophobic. And I believe that if a child can be given a home and love, then it doesn't matter if it's by a gay family, a straight family, an interracial family, whatever it is, they just need to have love and a good home. So,
True, same.
and that's why it offended me.
yeah, and I think pretty much, along with many others...
A majority of people.
A majority, yeah, let's just
Or
say
a lot
it.
of people, who knows?
It's never easy to be first out that house.
It's not. It's never easy to do an interview like that on the first eviction
This is
either.
what I'm saying. If he didn't say what he said, or maybe had the beliefs that he says he has, do you think his characteristics and his qualities, he could have been potentially a good housemate?
Thing is, I think that's a really difficult question to answer because, you know, we have that view of him, and you know, unfortunately, there are some people that will have the same views as him.
Yeah.
But our views will never change because that's all we've seen for 3 days. So, I don't know what kind of housemate he would make. What I know is that he's gone, and it's, you know, in a way, probably a blessing to him, really, because had he have stayed, who knows how bad it might have got. And it's just probably a good thing.
Well, we're one down now. Opening week is over. What have you made of the rest of the housemates' performances so far?
I like them. I really do. I mean, Angie.
Oh, Ange. I mean, she...
Took my big fat one!
And then do it again!
On your knees!
I mean, she pulled it back a bit tonight. Don't, please, smut.
Sorry.
Feel free.
Angie, Angie was fantastic. And I think, like, I didn't really know what to expect from Tiffany, but she really stepped up to the plate as well tonight with her nomination, because she has got on with him. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And when quite a few of us were a bit like that the other night when she was sat on the bed, you know, she seemed to take it okay. Do you know what I mean? You know, we didn't see her complain in any way. But she stood up tonight because she didn't believe in what he believed in. And so I think there's probably great things to come from her. There was a whole wine thing with Nancy, and then there was the comment about when she said, I'm above it. But I didn't see it as her meaning, I'm above you all. I saw it as her going, I'm not going to argue about wine.
I'm above this situation.
Do you know what I mean? And she's a grown woman, probably not really wanting to argue about wine.
Well, you're talking about...
And David, I'm sorry, I think he's just doing great.
You love him, don't you? Oh, come on, he was at your wedding.
I can't make comments because people think I'm biased.
Well, listen, let me talk about... You're talking about the older housemates. Let's talk about that younger clique. You know, we've got Scotty T, we've got Megan, we've got Steph. They're all pretty much keeping themselves as that unit. It's been quite obvious to see that. Do you think that's a wise move so early on to do that? Or do you think they should be maybe a bit more...
Well, they're probably sticking to what they know, aren't they? They come from... I know not Stephanie, but the others come from shows,
where that's their life.
where that's what they do. You know, they're in a group with people that are the same age as them, and they get up to naughty things, don't you, Vicky?
Oh!
No. So that's just them, isn't it? You know, I'm sure they will integrate with everybody, but there is quite a divide, isn't there?
Yeah.
And there's only a few young ones. Whereas normally that's the majority.
Yeah, it's normally a majority.
Yeah, so I think that makes it quite interesting.
Well, you mentioned naughty things. Do you think we might see a bit of nookie? Yeah. Not you, I'm talking to her.
I hope not.
Do you not think? Do you think? I don't know, I'm not asking whether you want to see it. Clearly you don't. I mean, come on, you've had enough of it yourself. But... Stop! But...
I don't know what you're talking about.
But do you think there is potential? Because personally, I think this series, seeing people's backgrounds...
Well, come on. If Scotty T gets his way, I'm sure he's likely to just... What's the expression?
Tash
on? Tash on, is that right? Yeah.
Aye, tash on.
I'm sure he's likely to tash on with any of them if they're up.
I would love to see... I would love it.
I don't think that the girls will. Stephanie's got a boyfriend anyway, hasn't she? Yeah. And...
Megan's single.
Megan is single, but we heard her talk about having sex on TV before, didn't we? And she said...
I won't do it again.
She was mortified and never do it again, so I don't think she will. But maybe they'll have a little smooch under the duvet and a little rub of their leg.
Oh, bit of rub of the fire. Well, on that note, I'll leave you to carry on rubbing your fire. Give it up for the gorgeous Emma Willis!
You rub it!
That's fair. Firm girl. Listen, stay with me as Winston is waiting in the wings for his BBBOTS debut, and that's not the only debut, because as the first evictee of the series, Winston gets to christen the dentist chair as he's about to meet the truth extractor of Boreham Wood. Oh, I warn you, this ain't just any old checkup. Don't go anywhere, babes. I'll see you after the break, yeah? Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother's bit on the side. Coming up, I'm going to be heading back to the house. Stars to catch up on all the fallout, plus our very own Queen of the Night. Jane McDonald's going to be closing the show tonight. Oh, she can, singing and dancing herself dizzy. I can't wait. But now, he may have called himself the second coming, but he's first out of the CBB house. He is the politician who couldn't win your votes or Nancy's heart. Give it up for Winston.
My man, how are you, all right?
Take a seat. I'm good, thank you. All right. Come take a seat over here, Winston. Winston, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Ryan.
You're welcome. First out.
Ryan, before we go any further, you're one of the greatest presenters around, Guy. Regardless of how you live your life, I'm not interested. What I know is that from what I've seen of you and the way you present this show, you got me glued to the television, man.
Thank you. I
And I'm
love
a
my
fan.
job. I love my job.
I'm a fan.
But I've got to ask you, obviously, you are the first out.
Yeah.
You've had, you know, a little while, a small amount of time now, since leaving Emma to come down to see me.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the reaction that you've just got? Because I've got to ask you, Winston, you're a politician, you know. Your job, I mean, I'm not a politician myself, but your job is, you know, to get people on side and to, you know, put your views out there. How are you feeling about what you might have done from this show?
What I've found as a politician is that you can't, if people are of a persuasion or have made up their mind that they're going to support you, then that's what they're going to do. In terms of getting them on side, we live in this country in what we call a democracy. And it's fantastic, the greatest in the world. And as a politician, I'm able to have the knowledge and understanding of how other countries formulate themselves and how they run. And we are still great. Britain, we are, you know, the English, England is fantastic. And do you know, Ryan, we haven't even got a national anthem.
Do you know,
England hasn't got a national anthem.
Well, we'll just sing Spice Girls, we'll be all right. Let me ask you, Winston, your comments that you made in the house, we'll talk about you as a housemate. You know, you went in the house, you took a bit of a shine to Nancy, we saw, and Tiffany. You liked a bit of the Tiffany and the Nancy. We were talking about that in a moment. But the one thing that we really do need to touch on, I know Emma's already touched on it with you, is the task that happened yesterday. With the comment that you'd previously made, when you were challenged by most of your housemates, in all fairness, about your views on what you said and what you compared it to, you didn't deny the fact that you don't agree that is what you meant. You said that the media spin things, and granted, I do understand that the media can do that. But what are your views on adoption with gay couples? Because it is a really, really big thing. I want to talk about the rest of your time in the house, and I promise you I will. But obviously, as a gay man myself, I would really, really like to know. You've put yourself out on show to the public here, and this is really one of the main questions they want to hear from you.
Rylan, it's very emotive, you know. I'm not a people hater.
I know you're not.
And I noticed in the house, two guys, Christopher and John, I got on better with them than anyone else in the house. I mean, I didn't have any clothes for a while and because the stuff had been confiscated or whatever. But the fact is, you know...
Would you feel upset if John adopted children?
No.
Would you think would you think that was child
No,
abuse?
because we live in a democracy.
No, it's not about the democracy. It's just about your views. You know, this is a show where people want to know about you.
But it wouldn't upset me. I just have that thought, saying, I've been grown up that way, I've come up that way, you know.
Do you think after living in a house with two gay guys and sitting on a sofa with me, you said, you know, you watch me on the telly, you think I'm a great presenter, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But do you think I shouldn't adopt children myself?
No, I don't. You should, if that's what you want to do, and that's the way
It is what I want to do. I've recently got married. I've got a
if you want to
husband.
live your life according to whatever, then feel free to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not one of these politicians who are here to campaign against you.
No, of course.
You know, and say, right, this is what I want made law, or this is how people should... No, what I want...
If you did get to the top, Winston, if you got to the top, would you try and change that law?
Change it?
Yeah. Would you try and change it back so, you know, gay guys can't get married and stuff like that if you don't agree with it?
We live in a democracy. It would be up to the people.
Winston, it's not
Why
up to
would
the
I
people.
want to change it?
It's not always up to the people. I'm asking your opinion.
Why would I want to change it?
I don't know, because some of the views that you give suggest that you probably would.
No, I wouldn't change it. But what I'm grateful for is that I live as a black Englishman in England.
Yeah.
And the simple opportunity to express my thoughts and feelings isn't being pushed under the carpet.
Yeah. Well, let me just say, Winston, I'm grateful that I can live in this country as a gay British man. I'm grateful that myself and, you know, the rest of the gay community, the rest of the straight community are free to adopt children because, you know what, when I do, I've got my career, I'm set up, happy with my husband, and I can't wait to have some kids, and I can't wait to raise them. I really can't.
And Rylan,
I really can't.
Rylan, I'll clap you myself and congratulate you.
Thank you very much.
Because that's what it's all
Winston,
about.
let's have a little look at your BBBOTS bits. Let's take a look.
I'm young, free, single, and ready to mingle.
Oh my God, is that a pimp? I love the leopard print. This is gorgeous.
Listen, you can't have your bed for yourself.
Hi, Nancy. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Nancy. Baby, your body's so warm. Let me show you. Point the toes. Oh. Yeah?
Oh God.
Winston, nice to meet you too.
You're looking gorgeous. Can you feel the heat?
Yes, I do.
I'm an extraordinary man. You're an extraordinary woman. I'll look after you.
4, 5, Big Daddy. Suck my big one.
You need to wake up.
Now, Winston, I've got to ask you, watching that back, how does it feel watching that back?
I met some of the most fantastic people that I've come across in a long time. Christopher, in particular, you know, when I was, I remember I was short on vests and things like that, and he turned around and said to me, "Do you want a vest?" And I took a vest from him. You know, I didn't sort of think, well, about his sexual orientation or whatever. I got on great with the guy. I don't hold...
You're not going to catch gay from a vest, you know.
But, you know, my opinion of him...
I'm just saying, you know.
No, you're good, that's good.
No, I've got to say it.
But you're good, but I didn't hold any grudge against the guy or any animosity. You know, I work with people who are that way orientated.
Gay.
Yeah. And I get on with them. I get on with them. So for certain people to try and insinuate that I'm some sort of people hater who's trying to change the law or hates people the way by their sexual orientation or the way they want to live their lives, just completely wrong.
Well, do you know what I'm going to do? Because I do it with every housemate. I'm going to give you a set of my glittery camp farewell bangs. Look at that. They're modelled on my teeth.
Great
but
stuff,
be
man.
careful with it.
Brilliant.
Come with me, Winston.
Cheers.
Come over here. Bring your hat. Because this, guys, is the moment that we go from the toothy ta to the moment that, sadly, they all dread. Because Winston, spin around. It's time. Winston turns red.
That's a great photo. Love it.
Good pick, good pick. Well, listen, we're going to be hearing more from Winston later in the show. He's going to be joining my panel, but for now, give it up for Winston. Off you go, mate. Coming up, we'll be taking an exclusive look at all the fallout since the curtain fell on Winston, plus the harshest critics in town. That lot and that lot are going to be asking the questions you want answered. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother's bit on the side. Still to come, Winston gets an almighty grilling followed by a right good drilling. Don't worry, it's not like that. I'm talking about something else. It's Casual Friday in BBBOTS. But first, it's time to check in with the house and see how they're getting on post-eviction.
You just have to go on the way people treat you, though. I'm sorry, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and
someone's
I
being a
know
bitch.
she was rude to you, do you know what I mean,
Oh,
David?
yeah. Well, it's not even that. It's the way she walks and it's the way she doesn't... Do you know what I mean? She laddie-da's around the house and I'm sorry, come on, like, I've tried to speak to her. It's like fucking talking to a brick wall, like. Do you know what I mean? I feel this small speaking to someone, like, and it should be, we're in this house as fucking human beings.
I think she fancies me, you know. I reckon she fancies you. That's what I was just going to say.
Like, you can be as good looking as you want, but a personality like that, man, I'm sorry.
Winston, let's come to you. What are you making of what Jeremy's just said there?
Jeremy's a great guy.
No.
I like him because he's honest.
Because he kept you in.
He's honest. He's honest.
Do you think Nancy
Doesn't
does
like
make
him in.
people? Do you think Nancy does make people feel small in there?
Ever since I walked into the house, the guy didn't judge me. Just took me. We got on really well. I like the guy. He's all right.
Good. Jane?
All I have to say.
Yes.
What do you make of what Jeremy said about Nancy? Do you think she does make people feel small in there?
I think Jeremy is now having to justify his decision.
Yeah.
And so he's going to make anything up he possibly can to be liked. I think that's it.
He's in the minority, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he's now in a place where sort of everyone else went against him and everyone else's decision counted for something and his meant nothing and he was in the wrong. And now what's he got to do? He has to justify what he did. And I agree with Jane, he's clutching at straws and he looks a tit.
I think he's doing his best kind of politician impression right now, learning how to deflect. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I would say. And Rylan, these glasses are plastic. I'm just saying. I'm not
going to explain why. We're not going over it again, for God's sake. We just heard from don't. It's already a tough night. We've heard from just about everyone about tonight. All sorts of ways you can get in touch with me here at BBBOTS. You can tweet me, you can Facebook me, or you can call me on my BBBOTS line.
You used to call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need my love. Call me on my cell phone.
Stop it! It's time to talk about the rest of tonight's action. We touched on it earlier, but there seems to be a divide growing in the house. There was certainly no love lost between Nancy and Stephanie earlier. So, Jane, do you think Nancy was patronising Stephanie a little bit by saying, I'm above you, like, you know, I'm above this?
I can't understand her. I really am trying to focus on what she's saying, and it just turns... I think she's talking 4 languages at once. Because I'm really finding it hard to differentiate. What is she trying to say? Maybe it's because it's not her first language that she's getting a little bit mixed up.
I think what she was saying to Stephanie was the fact that, you know, I'm totally above this. When Meghan come and apologised, I did feel a little bit sad for Meghan because you can see Meghan was quite clearly upset about it, Vic, earlier on. And she's gone and apologised and Nancy weren't having none of it. How do you think Nancy dealt with it?
Like, for
the only way she possibly could.
The only way Nancy can?
That's a Nancy put down, isn't it?
It's a Nancy put down.
It's a Nancy put down.
For me, I feel as though Meghan approached it in a very grown-up manner, and I think had it just been left to Meghan and Nancy, it would have been resolved. I don't think what Nancy was saying is I'm above you. I think what she was saying is I'm above arguing in here over a bottle of wine, and that's fair enough. Like, who isn't? But at the same time, the minute Stephanie came in, not that I've got anything against her, but she was making her mouth go. She'd heard the argument from outside. She came in ready. She came in wanting a fight, and that's all fair and good. I cannot wait to watch what she gets up to next. But at the same time, she was in the wrong in that situation.
Well, I think it's fair. I think you'll all agree with me. You know, Fat Boy always respected his elders on Albert Square. He did. Brick, do you think the young'uns needed to maybe have respected Nancy a bit more?
I think respect in all aspects of life is a great thing, you know? Respect, consideration and kindness for others is always a great thing to take into any walk of life.
So diplomatic.
Well, I try, you know?
You should be a politician.
Yeah. Me too.
You should.
I don't know, I mean...
Get out of that boot.
Get out of that boot. It's tight as well, it's a tight boot, it's so small. Yeah, I mean, of course they can, you know, kind of help themselves by kind of respecting people a bit more. But at the same time, people are kind of fighting right now. You've got the kind of young ones fighting for their opinion to be respected. You've got the older ones kind of telling their story and kind of, you know, giving their wisdom to the others. And there's a lot going on in the house, and it's only been a couple of days.
Yeah. Well, it has only been a couple of days, but some people are clearly finding it tougher than others in there, as you'll probably hear by this.
Suck my big one.
Cheers, Ange. It's safe to say that Angie likes a good old rant. What are we making of her, Jane?
I love her. I think she's just turned into Bette Davis in Baby Jane as well. On that last bit, I've just seen her and she's got the bow in. She's a bit like the guy on Back to the Future, the mad professor. But there's something so engaging about her.
But you're a fan of Ange.
I love her.
You're a fan of Ange.
I think she's just... Because you don't know what she's going to come out with next. She's like your mad auntie.
Winston, I've got to come to you. You've been in there. Who do you think's finding it really tough in there?
Stephanie.
Stephanie? Yeah. Why do you think she's finding it tough?
You've got... I mean, you hit the nail on the head when you said the young fighting for their independence.
Yeah.
And the older group, I say the older group, I was one of them, are trying to get their story across as well at the same time. And they're demanding respect from the younger group. So they're going off... What I experienced was that they're going off into 2 groups. And
Yeah, we've definitely seen the two groups.
yeah, very often you've got the older lot speaking one type of rhetoric and the young lot doing another thing, and then, pow, it all happens.
It's just all going down.
All goes down.
All going down. Well, let's talk about some of the plays. Come on! We're better than that. Let's talk about some of the task revelations. Scotty seems so proud of the fact that he slept with over 400 women.
Gangrene.
Gangrene.
Gangrene is what I'm saying.
Vic, I've got to ask you, can you verify that figure?
That is
for
gangrene. Verify it's gangrene.
Babe, I'll be surprised if it's only 400.
Oh,
I'll be surprised. It's much higher than that.
Look,
So-
you know him. Is romance going to blossom in there for him, do you think?
I don't think romance is going to blossom, but something will. Maybe it's chlamydia.
If I've got enough to
Scotty's a
deal with
young
tonight.
guy.
What about you lot? Do we think we're going to get a bit of romance in the... What do we think we're going to get? Love the jumper.
Thank you. I think Scotty and what's her name?
I don't know.
The girl with the
Who you talking about?
the hair back. Megan.
Megan.
They're definitely gonna get it on. You can tell. There wasn't a sofa like.
Nice to see you've been watching this. Give them a round of applause. There we are. Well, listen, as promised, our esteemed panel and audience have got a few questions of their own for Evictee. So let's start with our panel. Ricky, what would you like to ask Winston?
What I would like to ask you, sir, do you feel that this experience in Big Brother has helped your political ambition?
100%.
It has?
And what's happened is simple. Today's politicians do not engage.
Right.
And the fact that they don't engage with the general public makes it
Winston,
hard
I don't mean
for
to
them
be
to
rude, but that's that
understand.
boy from EastEnders.
Yeah.
He's well engaged with the public.
I'm engaged, but I also
It makes
kind of
them
think
hard
that-
to understand what's really going on out there.
Yeah, but I think you've disengaged yourself by kind of showing everybody certain kind of issues and, things that you feel in life. Is kind of disengaged yourself from the public, in
what
your
way?
state. Well, obviously,
How do I
obviously in the comments that we've kind of seen and the parties that you kind of represent going in, and I would have really loved to have kind of seen you challenged on your kind of beliefs and the way that you think, and kind of just as a human debate, as a human conversation.
Well,
I'd love to
Rick,
see
do
you
know
challenged.
what? Do you know what? Sorry, Winston, I will let you have a chance in a minute, but we are running out of time. I want to try and get through as many questions as we can, Rick.
Sorry.
Kaylee, where are you? Kaylee's got a question, apparently. Go on, Kaylee.
Do you think outside of the house you'll have any friendships with any of your housemates that you was with?
I've got to get a quick answer, Winston. I'm so
Probably.
sorry.
I don't know. I can't look into the future, but what I do know is I've got on very well with a lot of people in there.
Tiffany's definitely feeling the
Winston,
heat.
can I ask if Patrick Truman is your style icon? Who? Patrick Truman.
Patrick Truman.
Is
Oh, the EastEnders.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Is he your
God.
style icon?
I don't know. I haven't got a clue.
Mr. Walker has more class.
Jan in the audience. Let's take it to Jan in the audience. Jan, anyone? Where are you? There you go, Jan. Winston, I've got a question from Jan.
Yeah, Winston, if you'd have been in the house a bit longer, would we have got to know Winston or would we have seen more of Winston the politician?
So if you were in the house longer, would we have seen more of Winston the
You'd have
person or the
got to know
politician?
more of Winston, definitely. That's all there is to it.
Is there more to Winston?
There's a lot more to Winston.
There's a lot more to
That's all
Winston.
there is to it.
Unfortunately, we won't find that out. Give it up for Winston, guys! Coming up, Winston has got an appointment with the truth extractor of Borehamwood, a.k.a. TV's most dastardly dentist. He's going to be a gas. Here, Winston, I've got for you a little magazine while you wait to go and see the dentist, because we like to do it nice like that. Not long now, we'll see you in a minute. I'll see you after this. What about the celebrity Big Brother's bit on the side? What a night it's been. Still to come, Jane McDonald sings us into the weekend disco style. It's going to be so camp. But Winston, your time in the house is sadly over. But you've got one more appointment to keep, and I promise this won't hurt one bit. It's time for your truth extraction! Don't worry, babe. I do all of my own work.
What's going on, man?
Yeah.
What's this payback time?
Don't worry, babe. This ain't going to hurt one bit. I'm just going to try and get that on. There we go. You're in safe hands. You're in safe hands. Now, you're sitting comfortably, Winston.
Did you tell the Duchess I'm here?
Are you sitting comfortably?
Did you tell her I'm here?
You're sitting comfortably. I'm going to
Tell
fire
the
some
Duchess
questions
I'm here,
at you,
man.
and I want your sharpest response.
Yeah,
Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
So you got me, man. Yeah,
Good.
no problem.
Open wide. Let's go.
Ryan.
Who needs to be extracted from the house next?
Tiffany.
Tiffany, would you rather live in the CBB house for a whole year or get a root canal from me?
I live in the house, man.
You're all up in each other's space. Who needs a good hygienist? Who would you like to give a good tongue lashing to?
Oh,
we're out of time. But it is time to gargle and spit. Who's been rinsing you on social media? Who tweeted this about you? Bloody hell, Winston. Was it Eamon Holmes, Philip Schofield, or Stephen Mulhern?
Eamon Holmes.
Eamon Holmes? The correct answer is Philip Schofield. You got it wrong, Winston. Listen, that is all I've got time for tonight. A massive thank you to my fantastic panel and audience.
Thank you.
I'll be back here on Monday at 11 p.m. with Vanessa Feltz and the stars of Brokeback Mountain. James and Austin have reunited. Until then, you can catch up with all the latest in Live from the House on 5 Star. But now, there's only one way to follow a visit from the dentist. Singing the Dance Yourself Dizzy, it's the fabulously camp Jane McDonald. Night-night.